What up? It's your boy T-Bear in the reaction. Today is Wrestling Wednesday, so I was going to do two more. I'm going to just do one more because the dinner kind of took over time. So we're going to check out also from Wrestling Flashback, top 10 most outrageous Divas matches. Now, I know the women wrestling has went through their women's revolution and everything, stopping the whole diva talk and more focus on wrestling than the diva actors, but you cannot deny the days of the Divas was lovely, especially during the Attitude Era as well as the Ruthless Aggression Era as well too. So without further ado, we're going to take a look back at some of the most outrageous Diva matches of all time from Wrestling Flashback. So let's get it.
1, 2, is this on?
When it comes to some of the strangest gimmick matches over the years, a large portion
the slop, the pigpen match with Triple H and Hunter Hearst Helmsley and Here We Go was classic.
of them have featured women wrestlers. They've wrestled in all different types of liquids and worn all different types of outfits, where usually the lady wearing the least amount of clothes by the end was the loser. For this, we're taking a look at 10 of the most outrageous Divas matches. And we'll start with the evening gown pool match. The Attitude Era pushed the envelope so much that it made us all wonder how far the WWF could actually take things. Armageddon 1999 gave us an answer to this question. But let's first set the stage, as the Women's Championship would be on the line with Ivory defending it in a 4-way evening gown pool match. Elimination occurred
BB Bobby Bush, man.
once a wrestler had their evening gown removed, and the last woman standing would be declared the winner. The challengers on the night were Miss Kitty, Jacqueline, and BB. Mae Young and the Fabulous Moolah acted as the special referees. The women began to throw each other in the pool before the match even got underway, and then once it did, the girls would team up and throw Ivory in as well. Jacqueline would be eliminated first, followed up by BB. However, despite being out of the match, Ivory still tried to remove more of BB's clothes. It was then Ivory herself that had her gown removed by Miss Kitty, meaning Kitty was the winner and the new women's champion.
Yes.
Kitty celebrated her victory by promising to get naked, although not fully naked.
They made me wear underwear.
What?
She did this by removing her bra and flashing her breasts live on pay-per-view. Sergeant Slaughter would rush in to cover her up.
Were they like, oops, or like, you think they
I
tricked
got a
you?
standing ovation when I went to the back. All the boys stood up where everybody was cheering.
But there was still more to come.
Oh God, Mae Young!
But thankfully, the Sarge was there again to put this to a stop.
You gotta go. R.I.P. to Mae Young. You gotta get love for Mae Young. She was so. she was a vibe. She was a vibe.
Although this entire segment was quite the train wreck, JR and King on commentary were definitely the highlight.
Of course.
Number 2, Gravy Bowl match. The Gravy Bowl match was a WWE Thanksgiving tradition, which luckily didn't last. One of the times it occurred took place on SmackDown in 2001, when Trish Stratus put up the Women's Championship against Stacy Keibler. It looked like the two were about to treat themselves to a pre-match meal at first, but this only resulted in a food fight, a much more fitting WWE Thanksgiving tradition. After exchanging slaps, Trish nailed Stacy in the face with a pie and later threw her into the gravy bowl. They then brawled in the gravy, where it was the champion that gained the upper hand, hitting a spine buster and locking in a camel clutch like submission hold. This was too much for Stacy, who tapped out, allowing Trish to retain her title. After the bell, a frustrated Keibler pushed referee Jimmy Corderas into the gravy bowl as this fiasco came to a close. Jerry Lawler was once again on fire at the announce table. This was also only King's second show back after returning to the WWF, and you can really tell how much he missed commentating on stuff like this.
I think we should have one of these matches every single week.
You know, King. This was King lived for every moment of these matches. Oh my God, he lived for every moment of the Divas era.
I'm glad you're back.
Number 3, Mud match. Our last example wasn't the only bizarre stipulation Trish and Stacy wrestled each other in, as they battled in quite a few crazy match types.
Yep.
Tip 1, tip 2. She's turning the other cheek.
Remember the PJ matches? Oh yeah.
Mud match on Raw.
Oh my God, who remember the PJ matches they had where on the game that you smacked they bust and all that.
In 2002, Stacy got the jump on Trish to start with an attack from behind. Keibler then threw Stratus off the ramp into the mud below. Once both ladies were in the mud, Stacy also pulled referee Charles Robinson in. After a muddy back and forth, Trish rolled up Stacy on the outside to get the 3. Howard Finkel then attempted to console Stacy, which allowed Trish to push both of them into the mud. A furious Stacy proceeded to then slap and beat on the Fink to bring things to a close. It only got worse for Howard the next week when he lost the tuxedo match to Lillian Garcia. You have to hand it to the Fink though, as well as being a legendary ring announcer, he was also a fun entertainer.
Yeah, he was.
Number 4, Lita
bra
vs
and
Trish
panty
Stratus.
match, yes.
We'll now look at a more traditional bra and panties match. These matches became a common theme in the early 2000s, with countless occurring during the days of the TV 14 rating. But we're going to go back to the very first one the WWE ever did. Lita vs Trish Stratus from Raw in the fall of 2000. Lita was also defending her women's championship here. She started off strongly with a nice flying clothesline, but it was Trish that removed the first item of clothing by pulling off Lita's top. After this, the King cracked a joke that produced a rare laugh from JR.
The last time you saw a breast was in a Kentucky Fried Chicken box.
From there, Lita performed the head scissors takedown, which spiked Trish into the mat. Lita then removed the top of Stratus to even the score. The two ladies then traded suplexes before Lita climbed to the top to hit her signature moonsault. She then took off Trish's pants to retain the title. This was actually quite a technical affair for a bra and panties match, which for that reason probably makes it the best one. Following the match, the King briefly got some camera time.
Let me wrap my jacket around you.
The Right to Censor then appeared to introduce their new member, Ivory. She proceeded to berate the girls in the ring and the WWF for continuing to showcase scantily clad women. Number 5, Wet n Wild Water Contest. We've looked at wrestlers throwing each other into mud, gravy, and water already, but now we have a match where water is used as a weapon in a Wet n Wild Water Contest, where the only way to win is by pinfall or submission. Candice Michelle wrestled Tori Wilson, and both
of them, especially Candice.
Girls immediately got to work by shooting one another with water guns and launching water balloons back and forth. Candice would take over by throwing Tori onto the balloons, but then after a splash from the second rope only got 2, Candice threw a bucket of water at the referee. Tori then poured a bucket of water over Candice and gave her a stink face, which a fan in the front row made sure to capture on his flip phone. Wilson covered Candice in water one last time before hitting an X Factor for the win. Afterward, Tori threw some of the remaining water balloons at the announcers.
Oh Lord!
Number 6, Evening Gown match. Next, we have another evening gown match that was contested, this time in the ring. It would be wrestled under handicap tag rules and would see Mae Young and the Fabulous Moolah team up to take on Ivory. Ivory had to remove both of her opponent's gowns to win, so she wasted little time and began the attack by using her shoe as a weapon on Moolah. Mae then sprung into action with a takedown. However, Ivory responded with 2 snapmares that saw Mae land on her head.
The fact they was taking bumps like that at the age they were was awesome, man. It was crazy.
Twice. Jerry Lawler then chimed in with one of his trademark jokes.
I don't know if 70 is the real age. I saw him getting checked by the doctors in the back, and Moolah's birth certificate was in hieroglyphics.
Afterward, the confused Mae went for a cover, which the ref attempted to count. It was now time for Ivory to regain control. She eliminated Mae by removing her gown and then sent Young over the top rope to the floor. The fresh Moolah entered next and managed to gain the advantage, removing Ivory's evening gown to get the win. Overall, this one gave us a few laughs, but the WWF didn't paint their women's champion in the best light, since she failed to defeat 2 long since retired wrestlers. Number 7, Lingerie Pillow Fight. We've seen the King give us some zingers of commentary so far, but for this
again, they actually had that on the game and
next match, he would be the referee when Stacy Keibler fought Terry Runnels in a lingerie pillow fight. Lawler also had a live microphone in his hand, so he made sure to get his jokes and innuendos in.
No, what am I saying? Yes.
After hitting a ball.
He said, no, what I'm saying, yes. Well, boy's going back, but still, oh my God.
Body slam Stacy loaded up a pillow with a clock, but her attempt to use it was countered into a drop kick from Terry. Runnels followed this up with a Bronco Buster. Stacy came back by hoisting Terry up in a powerbomb position. However, King purposely got in the way, causing both ladies to fall onto the bed. Lawler then helped Terry pin Stacy down, which got the 3 count.
I wonder if this is during the evasion though. That's why, or I think at the time Terry was the face
and gave Terry Runnels the victory. Stacy, with every right to be upset, grabbed the pillow that she stuffed the clock inside and hit Terry in the back of the head with it. Keibler then grabbed a bucket of tar from under the ring and poured it all over Terry.
I think King has lost control, not only his bodily functions, but everything else.
Number 8, Tori vs Miss Kitty. The next entry on the list takes us back to the...
Tori, man, my goodness. I don't care what I say. Tori was hot to me. Tori was hot to me. And of course, Kitty, but Tori was hot to me.
Pool, which for this match was filled with chocolate pudding, as Tori challenged for the Women's Championship versus Miss Kitty. After making her entrance, Kitty informed Lillian Garcia that she now wished to be known as the Cat.
Yep.
The match began and the Cat immediately tackled Tori into the pudding, as they then both rolled around it. Tori was able to use her size advantage to overpower the Cat. However, Tori's rival at the time, X-Pac, would show up equipped with a wetsuit and snorkel. Tori attacked X-Pac and they both fell into the pudding. The Cat was then able to pin Tori and win the match. Afterward, X-Pac was thrown into the pudding by Tori's boyfriend, Kane, with the Big Red Machine nearly even falling in himself. It was quite funny to see him in such a setting, since he felt completely out of place being involved in a match like this. The New Age Outlaws then ran in to put the boots to Kane. Finally, once everyone else had left, Lillian Garcia incorrectly announced Miss Kitty and not the Cat as the winner, and you can guess what happened next.
I am the cat.
Yup.
Number 9, the Cat versus Hervina. The Cat definitely defended the women's title in some of the craziest types of matches, but this next one might take the cake because of how absurd the entire situation is. The stipulation would be a Lumberjill Snow Bunny match.
Oh, look at the little bunny tail. I love a little tail. I know you do, buddy.
The Cat's opponent was Hervina. The Cat quickly attacked Hervina as the Lumberjills threw snowballs. The Cat then got into a scuffle with Jacqueline, who ended up nailing the Cat and knocking her down to the snow. Hervina raced into the cover and actually got the win. In the post-match, Hervina was interviewed by Michael Cole,
Harvey Whippleman,
who soon found out the new champion's real identity.
You're Harvey Whippleman.
I knew it.
Harvey then shoved Cole down before all the Lumberjills ran in to attack Whippleman. This will go down as the worst title changes in WWE history, as this was perhaps the moment when the women's division reached rock bottom, as this would be the second of 3 times within the space of 2 months that a non-wrestler held the women's championship. Number 10, Bra and Panties Gauntlet match. Last and perhaps least, we have the first and only ever Bra and Panties Gauntlet match, which went down at New Year's Revolution 2006. Candice, Michelle, and Maria started things off. They each removed an item of clothing from one another. Then Candice would go for a rope-assisted head scissors. Maria managed to turn it around though by pulling off Candice's pants to eliminate her.
Young Maria.
Tori Wilson was the next girl to enter. Maria managed to remove Tori's top, and then it was time for the referee to get in on the action.
I'll come in there and help you.
Yup.
Wilson then attempted to attack the ref for getting involved, but this gave Maria the chance to strip Tori down to her bra and panties, resulting in the elimination.
Got her.
Next up was Victoria, who made quick work of Maria. Victoria then stood in the ring awaiting the next competitor, but it was Mae Young that came down instead. And even though they weren't officially in the match, they still looked to steal the show, with Mae Young first removing her top and then her dress. Victoria However, Moolah stepped in as she and Mae began to double team Victoria, eventually managing to remove her top after a very long time trying. Ashley was the final girl to enter. Victoria attempted a widow's peak, but Ashley was able to counter by rolling through and then removing Victoria's pants to claim the victory. Following the match, Ashley celebrated by stripping down to her bra and panties.
Give me the panties!
R.I.P. to her, man.
We've certainly come a long way since
I was a fan of Ashley, though, man.
the days of Wet and Wild, Bra and Panties, Snow Bunny Lumberjill, Gravy Bowl, Lingerie Pillow, Evening Gown Mud matches. And while none of these matches have aged at all well, it's still fun to look back and ask, what were WWE thinking? And that brings us to the end of this video. As always, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel.
But yeah,
and if you enjoyed
this was a good video right here. Hold up.
this one, be sure to check out our video on 10 crazy wrestling storylines.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to check that out. But other than that, this was a good video to watch though, for sure. Though the tickets back to the old Days of the Divas era, man, for real. It was definitely going. At the time it started getting ridiculous in the while, and then folks was looking at real women wrestling sideways too. TNA became popular with the knockouts and all of that as well too. And then the Women Revolution happened, and everything changed. But other than that, if you like my reaction, like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's your boy T-Bear signing off. One love.